Good morning, welcome to the Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 15th of July. So what we got listed for today in terms of news-wise, we've seen the Chinese data already out there. That often can have a knock-on effect onto the Aussie, so it's always worth being aware of as much as anything else. But we've got Canadian inflation and US inflation later. The US inflation, apparently traders will be watching for the effects of the tariffs that have been applied by Trump, the ones that have gone on there, to see how it's whether it's forcing inflation up or not, as the case was last time, as I seem to remember. Anyway, we'll watch. Those figures will be watched very carefully. Manufacturing index, that will be watched to a degree, but not so much. We've got Bailey speaking later. Didn't look to older Mansion House, of course, with tearful Rachel. So that's at 9 p.m. this evening, Bailey speaking, but I'm not too sure what time the finance minister's talking. Anyway, or Chancellor of the Exchequer. Let's get on and look at these markets. I don't have a great deal this morning at the moment. It's pretty much same old in a sense. We on the dailies here, I'm going to just go through the majors. There's one or two of them that might offer something. But the euro US dollar at the moment still coming off a little bit. Looks much more sound on the intermediate time frame here, but there's a lot of chop. The retracements are quite deep, and trying to trade this, I mean, looking at it yesterday, it's not a market that's an easy one to be trading at the moment, so best steer clear of. Unlike the pound, which is or has been dropping a lot more, it's I was waiting for a retrace to its pivot yesterday. It's not happened. Now on a weekly basis, it's run down to its S1. There's a reasonable chance we could see it running down towards its S2 if it breaks that at some point this morning. A bit of a continuation. Do have to just be a bit careful. Whilst it's acting as a bit of a magnet, we've got this new quarterly pivot sitting below as well. That in the short term could at least offer some support. So along with the prior lows are around that area, so just needs to be a bit careful. Has got some sort of double or confluence of strength there, but it does look like we could see a continuation. Now what would help that, and instead of just trading a break of the lows, maybe a reversal into the pivot if it happens, daily pivot. If we get a reversal bar from that, then we could look to trade. There's a couple of opportunities to try and get in there. So either just a sheer breakdown or the retrace and then breakdown. Right, US dollar yen. Okay, so we continue to push to the upside on this at the moment. High lows, higher highs pushing through. Looking still for the dollar relatively solid. More scope to be had potentially. It's a bit of a shame this hasn't come back to its pivot. I'd have more confidence just running up towards its R1 as a small intraday trade. We'll see what happens post 8 o'clock on that. It could be worth watching. The Aussie remains into a real chop zone on the dailies and intraday. A lot of the time it's a lot of overlap, a lot of retracements, so high frequency sort of trade, not high frequency trading, high frequency price action in terms of the frequency. It's frequent and coming back a long way. Now this Aussie dollar, I'm saying it doesn't look too good. Maybe worth watching post 8 o'clock how this continues. It's running to its 34, just slightly shy of the 34. I'd give it a few minutes after, just in case it does the usual reversal. So, but this could be a run down towards its S1 as run through the day. Maybe a stop not needing to be much above that pivot. Okay, US dollar CAD. chopping along here. Tight old range, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Lower highs, New Zealand dollar. Yeah, I was looking really to see if we break through the weekly S1 there. It's the opportunity. Now, yesterday I was sort of watching it. It did go about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It broke down, gave an alarm. There's a couple of options in the lower time frames, just waiting for the break of the low between these two sort of near-term highs, or on the break of the S1. There's the S1's just provided a bit of support there yesterday at weekly support. Okay, that's in New Zealand. Euro yen is a trading on the run. This is running at the moment. Just holding on to this. This is a long position to set up yesterday. There's the numbers. It's struggling a little bit this morning now, as to be expected, as the morning starts peering on. Aside of that, I have those in other markets. I'm looking at this pound CAD as a potential on a reversal breakdown of these levels. Now that could be played towards the S2 there, I guess, and the prior lows. So just got to watch the prior lows there. It might just stifle at the bodies, but yeah, by that time you could have price at the stop to break even. New Zealand dollar CAD also we're looking at here, a possible breakdown. I'll put the trend line on here. Now this again, it's a pattern that's familiar. It's just run back up into its pivot. I'd be looking, if it breaks through the pivot, I'd stand aside. If it can be stalled by the pivot there, a break of the low between the two highs there could see us run it for a run down towards its S1. So there you go. There's a few ideas for today. Aside of that, then we've got actually this is pushing through. Just see how it closes. Otherwise, I'll just walk away from this one. Other markets we're looking at, then gold. So gold, not really. It's in this sort of longer, bigger picture pennant sort of price action. Not the best for. It is starting to look like it's rolling over this morning here in the short term on the hourly time frame here. It's a bit of a rollback, but really don't like going against gold at the moment. It's too much of a safety currency. Oil, saw a big move in oil yesterday. In the end, as I've said for many weeks, it seems now, I've not been trading this at all. I've been watching it, but much of it's, to me, very difficult to get into positions. This did break from 1 o'clock yesterday. I don't know if something was said by Trump, but anyway, it's broken down, run from its R1 back down to its daily pivot there, and then beyond, so pillar to post really. We don't get many runs that run from R1 down to S1. It's quite rare. Anyway, it has at the moment, and it's putting a bearish engulfing in as we watch what's happening here. This is the quarterly pivot that's sitting there, that's provided support up until now. That's where that's broken again. It broke back here eventually. Whoops. Breaking again here. Just looking at this, we could see this morning a breakdown to the S1. Preference, if I was looking to trade this, would be looking in the afternoon, making more of a decision from there, but it does look bearish again. The DAX, well, the DAX of the equity markets is slightly the weaker. It did push up a bit yesterday, but just looking at it on the bigger time, or 4 hourly time, intermediate time frame, it's looking soft again. A break below that rising 50, 4 hourly 50 could be interesting, down with a the plan of riding it down as far as you can, maybe towards the S1. If it continues that way, the risk we have is the equity markets overall are being bought largely at the moment. We've got the S&Ps making new all-time highs once again this morning by looks of things. It's like a continuous roll at this stage. We'll see how this reacts to the inflation data that's coming out this afternoon. FTSE, finally, the FTSE again making all-time highs. It's running to its daily R1. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't really like shorting back to the pivot. It's not a good probability. It's only a 20% probability of that happening. It's whether or not really it pushes back on through at some point later this morning and runs up towards its R2. Had a decent run up there yesterday. What's stopping it today, eh? Right, I will leave you there, and I will catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.